Howdy, it's Frank here from Just Franking Around. I've been wanting to do this for a little while to actually show you the setup that we've had for the last 3 weeks while we've done our little trip to up to Cape York and now Fraser Island, last day of Fraser Island, and yeah, just go through. Whoa, oh, I'm getting a bit dizzy. That's a co-pilot. And she's going to do a little bit of videography with me while I sort of show you around what we've been doing in terms of our camping setup. Here we go. So, sleeping, where do we sleep? Swags. It's the only way to do it. Rooftop tent, not really practical for old men with weak bladders, but I have had one when I was younger. So, I've got my swag here. This is a Oztent RS1. It's the same as the other Oztent RV4s and things like that, but it's a single swag. This is the aluminium frame inside, but being an old man, of course, I've also got the stretcher mattress underneath, designed specifically for the RS1. So the kids, like one behind the camera, actually bought this for me for my birthday a little while back. So I'll show you how it undoes later on. Now, it came with this mattress, this folding mattress inside. Not particularly great. What I find is it's actually a lot of moisture comes between the base vinyl and the mattress at night. It doesn't sort of matter what the temperature is, what the humidity is. So I have to dry it out. But it's nice and airy. It's got a nice midgy mesh inside, canvas outside. It's got a top, which can either go on as a sort of awning type scenario, or as I've got here, come around here, to basically give you a little bit more insulation. It's also got a vent at the back. And if it's really windy, you can tie it down to tie down points. So that's really cool. Hannah's swag, on the other hand, is one of those cheapy King's Big Daddies. It's a double swag. Now, the problem that we had with this one was that the mattress that it came with was absolute shite. So a little while back, we bought one of these Zempire Monster mats. Very, very good. That's the double size, and it actually goes down to literally, well, about that big. Really, really cool. Quite comfortable, Hannah? She's nodding, yes, good. And that also meant that we, having taken the old mattress out, it actually packs down much smaller, because that Zempire Monster mat compresses really, really well. It's got a really cool one-way valve in it. And so it all fits into probably about 2/3 of the original bag. So that's really cool. Awning. One of the things that you really want is shelter. So this is about the biggest awning you can buy. It was also very expensive. So 17 square meters. The thing I liked about this one is that it actually goes all the way to the front of the car, right? Which means that you can actually have the swag here, a little bit of living area down there, and then you've got the shelter all the way around the back. Let's go around the back, Hannah. It's 2.4 meters from the car, so each of the length is 2.4 meters. So this gives you a massive bit of real estate here, all the way over.
Ow.
Also means my top of the car here can open up nice and easily. The only thing is it's heavy. As I said, it's expensive. You can't use it freestanding, so you have to have the legs down, right? So each of these ends here has got a leg, folds up. So it's a bit of a chore putting it up and down, but once it's down and it's pegged, it is absolutely solid as. It's also got 2 walls, so each of these lengths are exactly the same. So I've got 2 walls where I can put a side on an angle if there's inclement weather, or you want a little bit more privacy. Really, really cool. You can put them anywhere, which is good. What else have we got here? So the toilet tent is a very, very important part of this equation as well. Like here, you want a bit of privacy. So this is a brand called Kick-Ass. This all folds up and rolls up into the bag that's up the top there, the little canvas bag. Very, very cool. I peg it down on the 2 sides here. It can also obviously double as a shower tent and just a change room if you need it. So that's really cool. Cooking. Everyone needs to cook when they're camping. It's all about cooking and good cuisine. We've done a lot of good cooking here. What do you keep looking over there for? We've had a few spiders here, so. So, firstly, fridge. This is probably about the 5th or 6th fridge that I've had. This one's an Austrail 85 litre, I think, split both sides. It comes out, so I've got a nice little slide here. 2 sections. I've had a few versions of these sort of type chest freezers, and I also tried the upright one where the door opens. Great concept, terrible for rattling. It was really, really bad. Cans of soft drink were exploding, leaking, all sorts of stuff. Good concept, terrible execution. This one has been absolutely rock solid, which is good. Now underneath here, I've got a pull-out kitchen. So this XTM drawer I bought second-hand off Facebook Marketplace. And no, I'm not sponsored by Facebook Marketplace. So 2 sections, basically go all the way out, something like this. It's got this little shelter here that basically creates a nice little windbreak either that way or this way, depending where the wind's coming from. Legs that come down, right, both ways. And it's once it's out, it's rock solid. Swing it back in, so it gives you a huge surface area on which to cook. Check this out. Oh my goodness. Look at those colours.
That's all yours.
It's all mine. This side here I've got another XTM. This one I actually bought new from BCF. This is our pantry, so got all our cooking bits and pieces in there on a couple of boxes. It's really well organised, as you can see. Very important marshmallows in underneath there, rice, soft things like that. Now underneath here is a little cheese platter, cheese ball. We do our little lunches and stuff up on that. That's really cool. One thing it doesn't have that the newer versions have is a bottle opener, which is a real shame. Up here I've got a little gas butane cooker. I think it's a Dune or something like that. This case here is simply my drone and cameras gear and stuff like that, so it's nice and solid. And another standard little butane cooker up here, and I'm going to put some photos of Hannah having cooked and me cooking. Behind that, so I strap those down. So everything's kind of fixed in place. But behind that I've got a small King's 500ml drawer, and that's also food, that's also pantry, so spare stuff, tinned food, etc. Then on top of, so that's bolted up to the top of this XTM drawer. That also slides out if I need it to, but it's a little bit awkward because I sort of shove stuff in. This is stuff that I don't need to get to that often. Up the top here I've got a BOAB box, and that was also a few spare things. I think we actually had your snorkel and river shoes and stuff like that in there. Stuff I don't need to get to that often. But on the sides, there's a little bit of space there as well. Because I don't move this drawer out too often, I can shove stuff in there. There's a hammock in there, there's my river shoes, stuff like that. On this one, because we actually do move the fridge out quite regularly, I need to leave that clear so I can actually get a bit of space in there. When we're traveling, I can shove stuff in there if I really need to. That's the kitchen. A couple of tables. So that fold-up table goes in, half the legs go up, and it literally slots straight in between the drawers here beautifully. I'll show you some pictures later. That's a fairly large sort of table that the 2 of us can use. But then I've also got one of these small little roll-up tables, which really comes down to a small little parcel like that. Really, really cool. And then I use this tub here, which has all our pots, pans, plates, knives, forks, cutlery, crockery, all that sort of stuff. Even our butane cooker will go in there, all in one spot. So when we set up camp, we've just got everything in the one spot. This also fits in there. That's all my cutlery. I got this off eBay a long time ago. Yeah, it's over there. Whoa, best $2.75 she's ever spent. A milk frother. Fold up Aldi, good different, fold up sink. That's been working an absolute treat. We've also got a fold up bucket down there for rubbish. Absolute fantastic. For my kitchen over here, look. Customized lighting. Whoa, stop it, bro. So at night, we get a good bit of light here, but I quite often will augment it with a little bit of extra lighting. Another Aldi special. Whoa, stop it. Really, really cool. All right, let's move on to the car, Hannah. Right. Yes, my pride and joy. The Silver Surfer, Betsy.
What?
2009.
The name keeps
2009
changing.
Land Cruiser 200 series. I bought it 5 and a bit years ago, and it's the turbo diesel, twin turbo, 4.5 litre diesel. I bought it with about 187,000 K, really, really good nick. it was pretty well standard. The guy had the ARB bull bar and the brush bars on it, which was a real bonus. It's now just about to click 285,000, so I've put about 100,000 Ks on it in the last 5 years. What did I do to it? Lots of other modifications. So firstly, the big one that I did was a GVM upgrade, the gross vehicle mass upgrade. So that basically replaced the suspension, and it went from 3.3 tonne to 3.8 tonne, so an extra 500 kilo carrying capacity. But it also meant it went from the towing capacity, a gross combined mass, GCM, upgrade from 6.8 to 7.3 tonne, which is really important because we've got a big caravan. So other things that I did, new mirrors. They're just the knockoff, I think they're Sanhema mirrors that go out for towing, really, really cool. Obviously the awning, which I talked about, but on top of that is a Yakima roof rack. They couldn't get the Rhino roof racks at the time, so I bought the Yakima, about the same price, full length, aluminium, still fairly heavy. And then onto that, I've obviously got the awning, I've got the kick-ass on the other end. If you go all the way up the top there, Hannah, a little bit higher up, if you can see, you'll see I've got two 40-litre jerry cans, so 110 watt solar panel. That charges all the electrics. I've got two batteries in the front, which are fairly new. They're the Optima Yellow and Optima Blue. And then I've got a separate 100 amp hour lithium in the back. So the 110 watt solar panel goes through a Victron MPPT solar controller that keeps the battery charged up. Now, when I'm driving though, what I also have, come with me Hannah, come over here. You will excuse the mess because this is disgusting. I've got the Renogy 40 amp DC-DC battery charger. So when the car's running, that actually, the alternator puts power through this, that actually puts power into the battery down there and charges while you're running. Other stuff in here, air compressor, which is really, really important when you're doing off-road stuff. But the addition that I put onto the air compressor is this unit here, this little dune unit here. Basically, this allows you to have a handheld Schrader valve gizmo. When you turn the compressor on, it basically pressurizes this whole thing. It gets its power. You basically put the power from the thumper into this. This goes into your main power feed. That means that when this is pressurized, this is going really badly, isn't it?
I have no idea what any of this means. So you're doing great.
The compressor will actually turn itself off. You can then walk around the car. It comes complete with this extension here that plugs straight in with standard sort of fittings, and you can basically stick the Schrader nozzle on and really easily control. Rather than having to come back, turn this on and off, the compressor on and off, you basically get to do it really, really easy. It was $79, really, really well worth it. On the other end there, I've got a Atom Power 3000 watt inverter. That means I can run two 40 volt equipment off that. For example, charging a laptop, things like that need 240, like your standard household power plugs. And as you can see, I've got a little power bank up there. Here's my little Ryobi One charger that runs off there. So if I need to change my little battery for the Ryobi gear, I can do that and basically charge it off that. That works really, really well. I've done all of this myself. It's not fantastic, but it works. And I've been really, really pleased with all this because nothing has failed. Touch wood, nothing has failed. So it all goes through a shunt, which means I can actually monitor all the power usage, how much power is coming in, how much power is being used. That's also a Victron shunt. That's done really, really well. So this is all kind of self-contained. I bought this cargo barrier off Facebook Marketplace. It is for a 200 series. It works terrifically. I've had to modify it a little bit where I needed space. But what I wanted to make sure, safety. So stuff from the back, if we do have to brake or whatever, stuff doesn't come flying in through the front. If we have to brake in an emergency, things won't go flying along. And one of the things that I always do, being an old truckie from way back, I always strap things down. So I want to make sure that the load doesn't shift if there is any sort of need to do an emergency brake. I've also got, there you go, I've also got a can't really see, but if you come in through there, there's a water pump, a 12-volt water pump in through the corner there. That little bit just there. That means that when I do have water up on the roof, I can actually have pressurized water for a shower or things like that. It also means I can fill up the water tanks up there a little bit easier if I've got a source of water. That's really cool. Now the inside of the car is missing some important things. Back seats. So for this trip I actually had to take the back seats out. I did the same thing when I went to do the border track corner country with my mate Andrew. I've built up a false platform there out of thick ply, and that's after having taken the seats out. I'm shaped this up, and that is bolted in through the actual bolts that hold the seat to the chassis, right? So it is really, really solid. That gives me a platform where I can put things onto, strap it all down. It also reduces weight because those seats are very, very heavy. So once you take it out, you're gaining about 60 kilo or more of stuff that you can put in there. And then you can pack it all up nice and tight. We use these little Bunnings boxes. Hopefully there's no spiders in
Oh,
here.
shut up.
These little boxes here, that's our clothes. Really, really, it's so much neater than mine, I can tell you. So that's Hannah's box. I've got the same one on the other side. We put those two in, but that middle section there of the car is absolutely chock-a-block. There's nothing else we can fit in there. I love it. Absolutely love it. What else can we talk about, Hannah? Nothing else? You reckon that's about it? All right. On the island here, what we've done in just talking about the air compressor, we've had our tyres down to about 18 to 20 psi. Makes it really easy to do the tracks, and particularly soft sand. And you'll see some of the videos where we're doing some of that sand driving. Very important. You sort of end up with some mechanical sympathy for the car. It doesn't end up bouncing around. I do have a funny little squeak coming from the front right hand side, which doesn't sound great. It sounds like something needs to be tweaked, or I've broken something, I don't know. We did a few little crossings and it wasn't pretty. That's kind of it, I think, the setup. Yeah, I'm going to put photos in and all sorts of stuff like that to show it in action. There you go.